It is episode 12 with our beautiful idiot in Encased. In the last episode, not only did we get ourselves this, well, I was about to say sweet trailer, but passable trailer, we also had quite the foray into politics. Quite a lot of success there. We are apparently now the mayor of Junktown. But it is time to get moving with Act 2, which means heading back to the emulator to talk to Russo. I'm sure she'll have a laundry list of quests for us to get started on today. Oh, Sparrow! Sparrow found their way here. Good for you. I know they said that they wanted to be part of the emulator project, so I'm glad they managed to find their way here. Hopefully they're not waiting for me though, because my party's already awesome.
Karma stares at you for a minute.
Your performance at the council meeting was spectacular. You got everyone thoroughly bamboozled. Congratulations.
You should have seen what I managed to pull off not 5 minutes ago, just out front of here.
She applauds. Her expression is too serious for it to be sarcasm.
I was under the impression that I was supposed to talk to her about what I'm supposed to be doing next with the emulator, but I guess I'm just gonna have to say goodbye to a wall and leave. Which kind of is reminiscent of what talking to her is like normally. Henrietta.
Russo derisively snorts into her sleeve upon your approach.
I was already told that the council went spectacularly, while Kimiko is busy lifting her job from the floor. Let's get back to our work.
I like Russo.
I'll try to explain in a simple way what is required from you. Maelstrom has retreated, and it's just awesome. But while retreating, it came out of our control, and I'll have to make the emulator a little more complex so that we can get a hold of it and finally stop it.
Henrietta slaps her palms together, making a loud clap.
Try to look between her palms.
The white snorts.
What? There's nothing there. Let's get back to the point.
She takes a pile of documents from the table and shows it to you.
I figured something out, and I know what kind of improvements are required for the emulator. Hey, are you listening?
Oh look, a tasty eraser. Mutter like a madman and eat an eraser off the table. Yes, you were listening carefully.
Russo slaps the papers on the table enthusiastically.
Great. Our first task is to force the connection to Maelstrom. Then it will have nowhere to escape, and we'll have total control.
Henrietta pulls a blurry picture of a device from a pile of papers.
This is a Maelstrom beacon. A research team from Carmine Heights has been working a long time on the problem of a direct link with Maelstrom. If they give us at least 3 of those devices, we'll be able to establish a true communication link between the emulator and Maelstrom.
She makes a broad circle of her arms.
Look, this is the dome. We'll place one beacon in Magellan's parking lot, another at the highest point, the viewpoint at Nashville. And the third one should be taken to a very specific point close to Maelstrom to avoid signal overlap.
Russo stares up at the ceiling.
Things are quite complicated with the third beacon. First, the installation point will be flooded with Maelstrom radiation. An unbearable level even for you. But you can endure it with a special implant you can get from the church.
I may have already stolen that.
Second, we don't know how to get there. We no longer have up-to-date maps of the area. I'm afraid you'll have to interrogate a fop or two for directions.
She fingers the picture of the beacon thoughtfully.
Those things also wear out after contact with an anomaly. That's another problem you'll have to deal with.
Scream, hop around, and roll on the floor.
Henrietta watches your charade with concern.
While you're having fun here, I just remembered. There is this thing called Anomaly Protector. The device is made of relics. It reduces the level of harmful effects of anomalies and preserves the equipment from any damages. Try to look for these things at Picnic. There's a lot of things there. I'm sure that you will find the protectors there too. As soon as the third beacon is installed, you'll return to the emulator and eliminate Maelstrom's radiation in the zones covered by the beacons. I need some additional equipment delivered to the third beacon. So, would you please procure a heavy-duty truck from the Phalanx and get Nakamura to fund the expedition? Only the new committee can afford these expenses. Phew, that's all. I am exhausted again.
Russo sits down and stretches out her legs, displaying bright orange socks.
Saying shh. Give her a questioning look.
Henrietta covers her face with her sleeve and makes a muffled grunt, trying not to laugh.
Okay, tons of brains. I understand that you have some questions. Go ahead.
Fold your hands over your head. You are a tent. The tent wants to go camping.
The head of the emulator nods in understanding.
Yes, I understand your concern. The first settlers' camp is not easy to find. Only the fops know where it is exactly. Ask the folks around the junkyard.
I think she was pretty clear about where we had to go for the rest of the things. We'll get better information once we get to those locations. So let's shake our head. No, you want to talk about comic books, lottery tickets, and badgers. Well, or something else.
The white stretches.
So, and what is it?
Put the burnt fuse out of your mouth into Henrietta's palm.
Russo is not the fastidious type. She wipes the device with the sleeve of her coat and examines it carefully.
We're screwed up as usual. That jerk. That fuse is lackluster. No wonder it burnt out. And I doubt that it's due to simple negligence. You've done well.
Shout, progress, entropy, buns, and move away. Wonder why I can't just use my my trailer to transport the stuff. Maybe it's actually like, lots and lots of stuff and it needs like a semi-truck or something. So back in the city to secure funding from Nakamura, it hits me, I robbed her quite recently, so hopefully she's not still suspicious, and I don't get searched because I'm literally still carrying everything I stole from her.
Nakamura backs away from you.
I hope you're here on business. Don't touch me. I don't want to know where those hounds have been.
Search through Nakamura's desk for means to fund the expedition.
Nakamura springs up from her seat with a resentful cry.
What do you think you are doing? Don't you dare. If you need funds for the expedition, then get a hold of yourself and step back from my desk. I'll give you a couple of tasks, and when you're done, I'll give you what you want. That's the only solution.
Grab an eraser from the table, stuff it in your mouth, and look at Nakamura inquiringly.
The chairwoman raises her hands as if acknowledging defeat.
I'm not sure you can be trusted with even the simplest task, but your involvement is a message for the others, for the Phalanx, the church, for everyone. Tell me, can you get rid of some garbage if I ask you to?
Wisely shake your
Kimiko
head.
clicks her pen angrily.
I see. While you're playing philosopher, there are other matters to discuss. Do you have any questions?
Okay, fine. We can take out the garbage. I'm a cleaning champion. Airblank himself is jealous of me.
Kimiko folds her arms.
Well, at least you're good enough for that. Listen carefully. Go to Antonio Aguirre at Magellan, pick up a box of Selectrons, and take them to the incinerator to be burned. Don't give it to anyone. Don't just throw it away somewhere. Make sure it's destroyed in the incinerator and bring me a form confirming it. That's all for now.
Well, that's wildly suspicious, and we can probably guess what's going on. But we'll shout, "Arg, I'm a lemon," and leave. I'm guessing what's going on there is the people who are leaving Magellan and having the Selectrons taken from them to do so, well, they want to make sure that that can't be changed later, so they're going to destroy them all. That's my guess. So back at the temple, I'm guessing that Santiago hasn't realized that I stole the piece that I actually need from him already, so he'll probably try to pass me a mission. Let's hear what it is.
Reverend Santiago greets you with a good-natured smile.
How nice to see you again. I don't want to spoil a friendly visit, but you haven't forgotten our unfinished business, have you?
I'm not sure what he's referring to, but we'll say implant, make a boat shape with our hands, and extend them demandingly at Santiago.
He pats you gently on the shoulder with his broad hand.
Yes, of course, an implant. You really need it. And I need something too. Let's make a trade. You help the church, and the church will help you.
Express strong disagreement by urinating. Yeah.
The Reverend stares in perplexity at the wet stain slowly spreading across your crotch and down one thigh.
Tug on the Reverend's robe and say you're ready to help.
He laughs benevolently and throws up his hands.
The miracle of human mutual assistance has come true. Marvelous. In my office is a cabinet. Inside it is a case with teleglasses and a megaphone. You must preach the church's ways and attract people to our glorious temple.
Huh.
Don't say anything. Talking is not your strong suit. Just give them the teleglasses and our program will run by itself. Don't be nervous. Everything will work out fine. I'm sure of it.
Santiago gives you an encouraging wink.
Pick your nose and look inquiringly at Santiago.
The Reverend's indefatigable smile wilts slightly.
Do you remember what needs to be done? Grab the case with the teleglasses and go to the city. Preach to anyone who's not yet a member of our congregation.
Mysteriously pronounce drums and wink at Santiago. Depart, leaving behind a veil of innuendo. Okay, so which is his office? Preacher's case. A small case made of polished metal contains a special version of the church teleglasses. Such glasses are not connected to the general network, and a demo version of the program is recorded on their built-in magnetic drive. That looks like it. Okay, so I guess we just go and try to pass them out to random people on the street?
Salutations.
A thin, red-haired novitiate dashes towards you. I'm Julian, Brother Julian. You've been given the preacher, right? Hell, I envy you. In a good way, mind you. Open the briefcase and bring the glasses closer to your face. Perplexed. He waves his arms. No, you're holding it wrong. Put it on your belt, then find a radio relay and connect the device to it. Understand? No, honestly, I don't. So I see this device here out front of the, Nakamura's palace. Is this a radio relay? Oh, requires preacher's case.
You find the usual crowd before the council building. You greet the huge monument to the first settlers. The monument doesn't respond. Blow your nose loudly, clap your hands, and shout woo, woo, wah, wah, wah to attract the venerable audience's attention. Let the battle for hearts and minds commence.
So I like the implication of the difference between these two options here. First is get the teleglasses out and start chasing people around and recruiting them into the bosom of truth faith. Or take the teleglasses out of the case and pretend to be doing something very interesting.
You lie down on the dusty pavement and study the lenses of your glasses with a serious expression. Astonishingly, you fiddling with the glasses doesn't seem to interest any passers-by. Even when you put the glasses aside and begin eating dirt with a morose expression, still no one approaches you.
Well, let's see about a song about candy cockerels.
Hardly anyone, including you, understands what the song about candy cockerels has to do with the temple. You succeed in drawing some attention to yourself, and the phrase degenerate individual is even directed at you by a white. What could she mean by that?
Well, let's get the teleglasses out and start chasing people around, recruiting them into the bosom of the true faith.
The best defense is a strong offense, and the best sermon is a holy crusade. You take your teleglasses from their case and, with a bellicose cry, start running around the square, sizing up potential parishioners. You overtake and knock down an old man in a white coat. While he's still disoriented, you shove the teleglasses onto his head. The old man freezes and remains frozen until the end of the session, as if afraid to move. When you pull the teleglasses off him, he produces a wide grin. God knows who you're supposed to be, but that device is very curious. It was like a straight-up parallel universe. Though there are some problems with the sound, you need to make it louder. I'll pay a visit to your temple and talk to the engineers.
Finish the sermon outside the council and move on.
As you walk away, you notice someone watching you intently.
Show him your butt, laugh how... I mean, should we moon him? Yeah, let's moon him. So I checked in the quest log and it named the actual locations where I will find the radio relays. First one is here, just outside the temple.
You go out to the square in front of the temple, cough, stretch, and bow to invisible spectators a couple of times. You're gonna preach the hell out of them. You will preach until everyone comes to you.
Well, let's start chasing people down, physically assaulting them with the glasses again.
The best defense is a strong offense, and the best sermon is a holy crusade. You take your teleglasses from their case and, with a bellicose cry, start running around the square, sizing up potential parishioners. The sullen, alcoholic-looking person stops you with a warning gesture. What's this? Some kind of darn lottery? You can't have my money. You joyfully inform the stranger that it's free, and before he can protest, slide the demo teleglasses over his head. The stranger remains in the same brooding pose while you gallop circles around him like a baboon, chanting at the top of your lungs about the free food and lodging in the temple. When the session ends, the stranger slowly removes the headgear and gazes at you in disbelief, his eyes red with tears. So you sow this in your church? Is it really free? You could charge a lot of money for this. As you're about to leave, you again notice the stranger who was following you during your last sermon.
Well, let's moon him again.
The gas station is bustling with life. A couple of phalanx caravanners are arguing in a low voice, and a big, angry-looking black winger is dragging a stubborn orange behind him. The place smells of gasoline, hot dogs, and cat piss. The perfect ambience for a street preacher. You start playing a teleglasses case like a bongo drum and release a guttural howl to the sky. That ought to get people's attention.
Commence the recruiting.
The best defense is a strong offense, and the best sermon is a holy crusade. You take your teleglasses from their case and, with a bellicose cry, start running around the square, sizing up potential parishioners. Your sermon's next victim is a bored-looking girl watching the clouds. You sneak up from behind and, with a swift, ninja-like movement, slide the teleglasses onto her.
Get arrested for this kind of
The
stuff.
girl yelps and tugs violently on the bridge of the teleglasses, attempting to remove them. But then she stops and begins looking around, and even takes a couple of steps to the side. She's moving in virtual space.
I gotcha.
When the session is over and you remove the teleglasses, the stranger stumbles to one side and wags her finger at you. I should call the police.
You really,
But
really
I have
should.
to admit, that was really cool. Where is this from? The church? That huge building over there, is that a church? I thought it was the power plant. Okay, I think I'll go check it out.
Wrap up the sermon and move on.
You're about to head back to the temple when someone touches your shoulder. You turn to find the stranger who was watching you during your last two sermons.
Portray a boiling kettle.
He gives you a puzzled look. Do you even realize that the church is using you?
Oh, yes.
Look, I need to talk to you privately. Come on, it won't take long. I'll lead the way. You walk down the street. At the mouth of a dark, narrow alley, he turns to you. His smile snaps off as he pulls a handmade shiv from his belt and forces you into the alleyway, pressing the knife to your throat.
This is the alleyway? Okay. You squint first at the sharp knife trembling against your neck vein, then at the panting stranger. Seems like this lovely person in this cozy alley is about to cut a cake and invite you to a happy tea party. So we can motion for Yoko to do something, for Fox to do something. We can declare cake. Yeah, let's declare cake. Huh? The attacker is apparently surprised. Spying the yellow badge on your chest, he drops the knife and raises his hands in apology. I'm so sorry, I didn't know. I'm just desperate. Hear me out. I'm Harold. Harold Drayman. I have a brother. His name is Mike. He went to the church, and whatever they told him, he believed it. Apparently you decided to join them and then disappeared. I've run out of options. Maybe they're keeping him in the basement or something. He exhales heavily and shakes his head. He takes your hand. Look, I know I shouldn't be asking for this, especially from you, but if you by any chance run into Mike, tell him I turned the whole city upside down looking for him. At least find out if he's all right. Will you look for him for me? Agree to look for Mike, expecting cake in return. Overcome with emotion, Harold hugs you. Thank you. You have a good heart. I could see it right away. Don't let these freaks take advantage of your good nature. Okay, it was nice chatting with you. Sorry about that knife. I'm just really desperate. If you happen to see Mike, tell him I'm here. He summons a morose nod and falls silent. The cake is a lie. How timely. Leave disappointed.
Goodbye.
Okay, let's wrap this mission up.
Reverend Santiago greets you with a good-natured smile.
How nice to see you again. I don't want to spoil a friendly visit, but you haven't forgotten our unfinished business, have you?
Approach Santiago whilst performing the dance of the great preacher.
The smile never leaves the Reverend's face, even when you start twitching as if in a seizure, jumping up and down and kicking your legs. Santiago gazes at you affectionately.
Judging by your joyful dance, everything went very well indeed. Wonderful. Where is the case? Oh my god, what's that all over it? I hope the novitiates can wash this off. Thanks for your help.
The Reverend shakes your hand, then furtively wipes it on his robes. He leans toward you.
I have one more errand for you, and the implant will be yours. I need you to pick up the ejector from our underground chapel, which is in the sewers below the city. Can I count on you? Excellent.
So I'm guessing this is what's behind that door that we weren't able to get in. So, okay, we will proclaim that we're a lemon and head on our way. So if you recall, this is the sewer from the last level that you get into from Junktown. I'm hoping that this is the sewer that T was talking about, because I don't actually know of any other... Oh. Wait. Well, these guys are from the temple, right? Well, if they are, well, they definitely are. Why are they hostile? Well, we're gonna shoot them. Let's see, it'll probably be worth it to go ahead and use the action points to... which of these two weapons do we want? Psionic damage or probably general energy damage? I don't think we've used this one before, so if for no other reason, let's go ahead and hit them with this. Is this the one that... Oh, what does this do? Okay, that's against machines. Oh, swap positions with a target with a range of 15 meters? I mean, we don't need that right now, but that's definitely interesting. Oh, okay, so I can increase the damage of an ally. Well, let's go ahead and do that on Yoko. That sounds awesome. And go ahead and take a shot at this guy. Fox isn't going to get the benefit of being functionally immortal against these guys, especially since this guy looks like he has a flamethrower. So let's go ahead and go with defense class. Now, Yoko, why don't you take advantage of that energized? I think that was plus 25% damage, which is pretty darn awesome.
Ow!
41. Does that seem like a lot? We're going to do it twice. Okay, 16 damage. That's not a ton. All right, now my character gets a turn to shine. Let's see, so 6 to get right in front of him or 8 to get behind him. Let's just go in front. Distracted? Oh, probably because they're ugly or something? It's hard to turn one's gaze away from such a horrific physiognomy. Generic attack. Alright, what do these guys have in store? 34 damage, that's not nothing. Let's see about finishing them off with Fox. Are we going to be able to get that much off? Let's go ahead and save the AP.
Do you want to play, birdie?
There are traces and fractals.
Okay, so I guess these guys are afflicted. That's something that the afflicted enemies say. Can we? Yeah, we can reload with two. Excellent. Look at the size of the gun she's carrying. All right. Slow down. Well, it's not going to stop me from being able to make it all the way over here. I do have to be cognizant of hit points because the machine gunner did manage to do a bunch of damage. I think I wait. It said I was still gonna. Well, it said I was still gonna have 8 AP left, but I guess not. Wouldn't think that my character would have much in the way of AP, but alright. Let's let Fox keep doing damage. While it would be nice to get her moving up, getting damage off the field is my primary priority. So if she can do damage from here, I'll have her do it. I definitely have to heal Eiley in the next turn.
Someone from outside did it. Some outsider.
Alright, kneeling position. What is her range? Okay, so she can hit this one. Yeah, let's... No, you know what? Let's actually move her up. Go ahead and pop first aid. And I am going to improve my defense class. And get hit anyway.
Do you think you'd beat me?
Would be kind of nice to get her into the fight. Let's get her into the fight. Use the entire turn moving her up. Ooh, I didn't notice. 43% chance to hit. I wonder why that is. Well, I'm gonna
Ow!
shoot at the one that I'm not so much guaranteed, but I have a much better chance of hitting. Wonder what my chance of hitting with Eiley will be on this one. Okay, so she's getting 100%. Oh, totally forgot about fighting stance.
There are traces and fractals. Traces and fractals. Ugh!
You know, it doesn't take too long. I'm gonna go ahead. I have so many medikits kicking around. I'm gonna go ahead and use a medikit, which apparently doesn't do a whole heck of a lot, but I'm gonna go ahead and put that one down. Do I want to focus my damage on this one, or do I want to go for the 100%? I should probably
Ow!
take the less likely hit just to clear enemies off the field, but we will continue moving Fox up. And I will, however, take a 100 over a 43. That's too much of a difference.
Arr! Ow! Ow!
And I think I can use a mercy strike.
Ha!
Yes. Okay.
Arr! Ugh.
What was this one again? Energize? Yeah, let's go ahead and drop another energize on... Oh, Yoko's not in range. Drop an energize on Eiley? Why not?
Someone touched us. Cover up. Ha!
Yeah, it looks like the energize wasn't necessary. Didn't harm me, though. So yeah, these guys would have had to have been afflicted, or at least that's the impression I get. Went ahead and got the team all healed up. We're not showing a locked icon on the door anymore, which, well, okay, now we're seeing a locked icon. Maybe there's a button around here that I missed last time? So after looking around for bloody ever, I've come across this ventilation hatch. I think it's about the closest thing I can find to a sewer entrance that isn't the sewer that we were just in. So cross your fingers. Well, that's kind of telling. Door to church's secret chapel. Naturally, being a video game, the first thing we're going to do is go the wrong way.
Be wary of
Ouch.
these sorcerers.
I am absolutely going to get killed if there's more than one of those. Thankfully, it didn't kill me outright. Alright, well, whatever's down there, that's not the direction we're going. So this is what goes for a chapel these days, eh? Hopefully this place isn't littered with mines. Let's go right up the middle. We have one guy here. Lots of stuff to go ahead and search. Do I want to do that first, or do I want to chat with the Trisha O'Kee first? Let's go ahead and loot the place first, in case, for whatever reason, we get...
The loud echo of voices and light shimmering on the walls brings you to the church's secret chapel.
Wonder if this is the wrong way to do it.
The dead end of the sewer system maze, decorated with flags. The lamps are dim, though candles in glass jars on the floor and in little nooks in the walls add some light. You see 3 figures in a corner, clad in the church robes.
Go on.
You move closer.
Oh, damn.
One person is sporting a strange device on his head. It resembles a customized motorcycle helmet with a glass flask embedded in the crown. Bright scarlet light glows through the person's skin, and smoke is leaking from beneath the helmet. The stranger's mouth is stretched in a silent scream.
So why did the Reverend want me to see this?
Something flashes inside the helmet. A bright beam of light runs over optical cables emerging from the flask. The person in the helmet startles and sinks slowly to the ground, as if deflating.
I'm guessing this is leading to a fight either way. Well, let's see what their excuse for this is. I highly doubt that there's going to be some sort of good reason for what they're doing, but we'll give them a chance. Ritual victim. Oh, there's a second guy. Okay. Oh, there's lots of people here. It says the computer panel doesn't contain any useful data. Somehow I doubt that. Oh, this could be quite good in that it has resilience. My character needs all the resilience. Let's go ahead and take all and open that up and have a comparison. So we still have the Night Watch cap from ages ago. What am I losing if I lose defense class? Which I really don't want to do. That's the majority of my defense class. But resilience... Ooh, that's tough. Okay, so what I've done is I put on the funny glasses here with the resilience of 11. But since I lost defense class there, what I did was snag the jacket off of Fox. So I lost 9 points of resilience. Overall, I'm only up 2 points of resilience. But Fox got a bunch of resilience out of the deal by getting the Honest John work coat. She lost some defense class, but not as much as you'd think because she got 8 points out of the Night Watch cap. Overall, this is a... Oh, she actually wound up higher. That Night Watch cap... No, she didn't, because the previous one had 4, this one has 8. Okay, so she's up, down. She's fine. Overall, this is this is a better setup, at least for my character. Not as good as I was hoping, but it's an improvement. So that was the only interesting thing to be looted. Before I go... You didn't do so well. Before I go and chat with these people, let's talk with the... well, not talk with, but inspect the victim first. By which I mean loot. Can we scan them? We can scan them. For some generic points. Anything else that can be scanned in here? No. So this seems like a really weird thing for the Reverend to send me down to look at. I can't imagine why he'd want my first impression of this to be one that he didn't, you know, at least give some explanation for before I showed up. But that's what happened. Well, let's have a talk with Trisha? You see a strange-looking young woman clad in the robes of the church. Drops a sweater running down her pale face. She's staring somewhere past you. Okay.
What
A
do you
rather
need?
unsightly acolyte squints at you unkindly. He's standing next to a dead man. What's wrong with your face? Why are you smiling? Am I smiling? Okay. They always send fucking morons to clean up. Santiago makes me do everything on my own. Step on his foot to stop him acting like a prick. No, I don't want to get into a fight with these guys until I at least have a chance to get this ejector. So we'll pick up the shattered radio tube and ask, ejector? With the same disdainful expression, the novitiate rips the helmet from the dead man and hands it to you. Here's your ejector. Is that all? Are you going to clean up now? Ah, never mind. Just get lost. He eyes you with disdain. Now we'll step on his foot to stop him acting like a
I
prick.
hope we won't see you again.
Oh, okay. That escalated. Well, I guess I escalated that quickly. I should have left Yoko off in the corner. But I didn't. Alright. Well, Fox is close enough that I can just be using her regular weapon. Who am I going to attack first? I figure we're going to want to move into one of the corners. Well, at least Yoko's going to want to move into one of the corners. So I should be trying to push one of these two directions. Oh, good hit. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and save that last point there.
You wanna play, birdie?
Alright. I definitely need Yoko back, so I'm going to just notice that I didn't reload her gun last time. Immediate regret. So we'll move her back this much and reload. Where's that coming from? Oh, and those extra points in resilience didn't help us much. There goes Eiley, running as far away as 15 action points can take her. Ooh, you took that. Well, I'm going to use the Mercy Strike to finish her off. Oh, I can't move. I'm frozen. Frozen to the ground. Well, do I save up or do I... Yeah, let's... Yeah, her health isn't too
Gonna be
bad,
more
so...
effective from this angle. I'll definitely get promoted when this is over.
So, I lost points with the Maelstrom Church for stepping on a guy's foot, which I probably should have known better. Let's take a quick peek. Is there a better secondary weapon I could be using with her? Might be fun to try something different. Let's go ahead and put the Needler thingamajig on. Okay, Cleaving Dart. Not particularly impressive.
Now I'll show them.
Alright, let's get Eiley all the way up because I'm guessing the first thing I'm going to need to do is heal Yoko. So let's go ahead and... Well, we're both on fire apparently. And since Eiley's health isn't too bad, we'll skip the turn. She should have 17 action points for the next turn, which will be fantastic. Is Fox still... Yep, she still can't move. Oh, but she can shoot. Well, the person who's been setting us on fire is probably the most dangerous.
It hurt, by the way.
Go ahead and defense class for now.
Now I'll show them.
Oh, you did not want to close distance on us. That does not benefit you.
Ah!
Oh! Oh!
These guys definitely have spectacular, flamboyant attacks, but not particularly damaging attacks. Now, I was going for this guy before, but let's go ahead and clear them out based on distance to Yoko.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
Is Fox going to be able to... Yeah, Fox will be okay for another round. Ooh, you lived through that, eh?
Target priority setting has changed.
I lost another 4 points with the Maelstrom Church.
Won't even feel.
Okay, so I want to get a heal down on Fox. Let's go ahead and do that. And still have 7 AP left to run up and give this guy a whack. You know what? I'm probably better off. I'm doing a bit less damage with this than her blade. Although that was a huge hit.
Setting Shiroyama to the full power condition now.
What? It wasn't at the full power before? You probably should have started with that. So this looks like it does a, well, not poison, but a type of damage equivalent to poison. It doesn't hit very hard. So let's go back to her gigantic rifle, which for some reason I didn't initially assume would be her most damaging weapon. And since she has 2 points, well, you know what? Go ahead and go with defense class. And Eiley needs to heal herself somehow. Well, I mean, I do know what my options are. Just wondering which one I should use. I'm just going to use a generic med kit instead of one of these fancy ones. And just for fun, let's throw a grenade at this guy.
Hey, what the heck?
And let's close the distance.
You punch like a robo-kid.
But I am a more advanced model, and my attack is much stronger.
Oh, some fun little banter there. Alright, Eiley, finish him off.
Hurt, by the way.
And we'll go ahead and search these people. I lost a lot of favor with the church for that, but if he didn't want me to kill these guys, he probably should have said, oh, by the way, don't pay much attention to the fact that they are murdering people down there. Let me give you the rational explanation for it first. It's not like you would have been able to look at me and think, oh, well, this person's the paradigm of, well, of anything, really. So I went and checked. Despite the fact there is, and I quote, a rumor that I killed all those novitiates, I still have a positive 8 reputation with the Maelstrom Church. Although I am suspicious that might change very, very shortly.
Reverend Santiago greets you with a good-natured smile.
How nice to see you again. I don't want to spoil a friendly visit, but you haven't forgotten our unfinished business, have you?
Well, let's communicate our confusion by picking our nose.
The Reverend pats you on the shoulder encouragingly.
You remember our agreement, right? Go to our secret chapel in the sewers beneath the city and fetch the ejector.
Say projector and wink.
Santiago's expression is clearly puzzled, despite the huge black goggles hiding half his face.
And what does that mean? Did you bring the ejector?
Given that he was using it for... Let's see if we can get some more information out of him first. Let's smile back at him.
You and Santiago stare at each other for a while.
Oh, was there some kind of trouble with the ejector? Well, at least you tried.
The churchman sounds disappointed. Santiago throws up his hands again. His happy, exalted expression returns.
In any case, the miracle of mutual assistance did happen. Well, it's almost done, but you still don't have the implant.
Yes, I do.
Wait a second.
He writes something on a piece of paper.
The chip is hidden in a safe in my office. This is the password. Before you leave, I need to tell you something. You've attracted the attention of someone very important. The abbot wants to speak to you. Tell me when you're ready, and I'll arrange a meeting with him in the virtual world.
Santiago smiles sweetly at you.
You know, it hits me now. I was actually supposed to be looking for Buddy's brother down there. Was that the guy that got fried? I didn't actually check. Well, what is this pantomime, a bulky pair of teleglasses on your head, and declare wombat?
Wombat? Ah, I understand. You're ready to meet the abbot. Tilt your head forward, and I'll put the teleglasses on for you. There. Try not to get overwhelmed. The shock can be intense.
Santiago straps the device to your head. Through the purple lenses, you see him smiling good-naturedly at you.
I'm even less of a fan of putting on teleglasses right now, to be honest, but okay.
You put the teleglasses on. The church room's dim light is quite enough for the familiar image to start forming before your eyes. You hear the slosh of the sea again. Your feet touch the water, but as if it were hidden beneath a layer of translucent ice. Waves ripple beneath your soles.
Well, I think all of us would loudly exclaim ass and revel in the electronic echo.
With funny, humming overtones, your shout reverberates for several seconds under the pixelated sky. After fooling around for a while, you realize you're moving through space on your own. An unseen force is directing your steps away from the shore. Striding on, you notice footprints glowing right beneath your feet. They're translucent, only the edges marked by white, pixelated lines. Perspective makes the staircase shrink to a single white line in the distance above, at the very end of which you can see little merlins, like on the walls of a castle. You climb higher, away from the waves and toward the lights above. Your path ends at the top of a tower, where a tall old man with deep-set blue eyes meets you, the abbot. You can clearly see that he and the little space around him are full of real light and color. This place doesn't look like a computer simulation. The abbot cocks his head and studies you with one eye.
The one who's been through Maelstrom. I've always dreamed of meeting you.
High five the abbot.
The head of the church smacks your palm awkwardly.
As you can see, the program easily recognizes this gesture. In fact, I'd like to talk to you about this very subject.
He shakes the hem of his robe and smiles as the scarlet fabric shimmers.
You're incapable of understanding the power of the abstract world and the possibilities it offers. Without this understanding, you cannot compare them with what the new committee offers you. But you are capable of seeing the beauty. Hear me out.
You ever heard the saying, flattery will get you everywhere?
We discovered how to use Maelstrom as an enormous computing system. When we do so, the church will change. We shall not need ejectors anymore. We shall no longer be restricted to a world of 16 colors. We shall perform magnificent feats with the naked power of our minds. No more domestic problems, no need to eat or sleep and so on. Reasonable solutions to conflicts. Any experiment that may be modeled can be performed. Mayhaps we shall discover immortality, or a way to leave the dome. Or we might transfer our minds here and live forever.
He rests his cool gaze upon you.
If only we had Maelstrom.
Okay, well, I can see where this is going.
The abbot snaps his fingers and the tower bursts with light. As if upon a giant screen, your face is displayed on the pixelated clouds, frozen in the center
Yeah, I
of the
know
room.
that person.
Though maybe you have doubts, or the opposite is true and I have convinced you. It does not matter to me, because I myself believe in this idea. You arrived in the middle of the daily sermon. Hundreds of followers await my speech, but today you will be the one speaking.
Oh, goody.
Say whatever you wish. The doubters will leave, but the rest will only grow most certain that they tread the correct path. Are you ready? What will you tell them?
He steps aside and falls silent.
Ooh, I'm hoping for good things from this.
Bent into a ring, the still, silent world, shimmering with lights, lies below. You are standing in its very center. At the apex of a translucent tower, your face is being projected upon white clouds and black and blue skies with flows of light. The eyes of hundreds, maybe thousands of people must be enthralled to you now. Looking at the coast, you notice plenty of tiny forms on the beach. They're waiting for you to speak.
Okay, we have church is cool or church is shit. I'm guessing if I go straight to boo church's shit, he's gonna kick me out of the simulation. But I bet you I can get away with, hey assholes! Holes, holes, holes. Your shout produces a crisp echo that repeats several times. Turns out even funnier than you thought. Abbott snickers and raises his hand, asking to speak.
You know, that's the deal with the employee. A real comedian, that one.
He says, after a moment's confusion.
I was prepared to give a speech, but instead I'm going to address our guest. You may not be smart, employee, but you have a keen sense for beauty. Admit it, you're drawn to the fascinating world we're building. After all, we're not in the business of politics or redistributing power. We're creators of the new and wonderful. You already had a hand in the creation of our world, and I believe you've experienced, even if only for a short while, the joy that fills the soul during moments like these. This is the only goal worthy of a human being. Don't give it up for the dirty games of power-hungry pigs. Do come back later, employee. We'll be waiting for you.
The abbot winks and pushes you lightly on the chest, forcing you to step back. The tower's smooth stone floor slips from under your feet, and with a high-pitched screech, you fall toward the frozen blue waves below. You rip off the teleglasses and return to your senses just before impact. You're lying on the floor of the temple, legs kicking spasmodically.
Santiago smiles. So, did you like it? I guess what you saw didn't make you lose your head. You reasoned so dryly upon everything, I bet your encounter with Maelstrom at Nashville didn't even surprise you. You're entitled to your opinion, though I can't deny I'm disappointed I couldn't persuade you. Didn't persuade me to... Okay. So I'll check his safe before I go. It should be empty. Yeah, it'll be empty. So I'm guessing the guy in the chair probably was Harold's brother. Let's see what he has to say about that. We'll tell him what's going on down there either way.
And I was starting to get bored.
Harold looks at you hopefully. So, any news from Mike? Please just tell me he's alive. Let's wriggle away like a worm?
Good luck.
No? Okay, so we haven't found Mike. Since I haven't yet figured out how to sleep in my caravan, I don't know if you can, I took quite the nap here in Junktown. I have noticed there are a couple of doors here which are locked, but don't show with the red lock that says, hey, you're not allowed to lockpick this, so let's go ahead and break into these places. Okay, so this is presumably the house that you can buy off of, what's her name, the bartender. Presumably unnecessary, because I can just lockpick my way into them. And it looks like I can just lockpick my way into this one, too. We're finding basically the same thing, except with a toilet. Mirror. You look into the dirty, dark glass of the mirror. A creepy, distorted face appears for a moment behind your shoulder and quickly vanishes. Oh, to which I got a creeped out moodlet. That's helpful. Let's see what 10,000 would have gotten us. Lots of stuff to search through, as well as a shower. This is my house now, whether she likes it or not. If I'm allowed in here, this is where I'm gonna stay. After taking another nap to get over the fatigue I got from my latest bout of lockpicking, it's time to head out of Junktown and the capital itself, where I didn't notice this last time. Apparently I have my own billboard. Would have been nice if they had a way to get my picture in there, but we'll pretend that from the ground you can actually tell who I am there. In the next episode, we'll be heading out of Junktown in our not-so-fancy trailer. It'd be nice to actually see what this thing's like to travel with. Hopefully it leads to some new adventures that you don't get with the car, but we'll find out. That'll have to wait until next time, and I will see you